Feminine strengths are a 21st century leadership advantage, 21st century leadership skills. I want to really emphasize this. Feminine strengths are not owned by any one gender. They are now being deemed as if you have them, you have a competitive edge in this interdependent, interconnected world that we live in. So I mentioned before that I produce a Women's Evolutionary Leadership Network in Silicon Valley for women who want to come together in conversation and hear great speakers and be in dialogue. One of our first speakers was John Gerzema, his book had just come out, The Athena Doctrine, which documented 64,000 interviews around the world in 13 countries with political leaders, NGOs, educators, regular people, asking them, of all the leadership strengths that he listed, which ones are masculine and which ones are feminine. So his first cut was on that. That was like the first 32,000 people or so. The second cut was the question, what are you looking for in a leader today? These are people he was asking that were solving intractable problems. Well, here's what he found out. That feminine strengths are a new competitive advantage. If you look at the left axis, the ones most strongly related to leadership in their view were expressive, plans for the future, and the highly scored ones were feminine. This is just one of, I could list 5 other studies that substantiate how women and people who have feminine strengths really have an advantage today in terms of the world that we live in. You know, the business case is clear. Fortune 500 companies that have more women on the board have a 66% higher ROI than boards with the least. It's been calculated that an increase in the share of women in top management in companies would equate to about a 15% rise in profitability. Stanford Clayman's Institute, who we're privileged to have here today, maybe someone even in the room, tells us that if women were fully integrated into the workforce with equal leadership roles to men, we would have our national GDP rise by 5%, which would equate to hundreds of billions of dollars. And let's not forget the less measurable but equally important multiplier effect. Have you ever heard of that? Yes. Yeah, so when women are in positions of leadership, it's not just the numbers, it's that they tend to shape cultures and create policies that improve the productivity and well-being of both men and women, and also reinvest profits back into the community. So these are all the reasons why women should be leading. And we just know gender diversity and partnership is a 21st century necessity in commerce, business, and technology. It just is.